Hi everyone, Linda here again with you from Gunlock Lane Jewellery. Another link, of course. This week, you know how excited I was last week about the little link. This one I'm just as excited, maybe even more excited, because once I saw this link put into a chain, I just absolutely fell in love with it. So I hope you feel the same way. This is the little link that we're going to be doing. You can do so much with this. I've put an earring together. I've done a couple of other different designs on this link, which I'll show you during the video, and also put a chain together. So if you're interested in learning how to make this gorgeous little link, then stay with me. I'll just get all my supplies together and I'll get right back with you. Okay, so let's get started. I've got my reel of 18 gauge wire here, and I'm doing this link on the spool. I just haven't had time to do measurements and whatnot. So, and I find it more economical if you work on the spool anyway, as far as wire wastage goes. So I've just flush cut the end there. I'm going to grab my 6-step pliers, and I'm using the this one here. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th biggest one, or 1, 2, 3. 4th smallest one, or the 3rd largest one, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, so we're going to come in, grab the end of that wire there, so as you can see, you can't feel it or anything like that. And we're going to turn that around, and we're going to bring that wire, the end of the wire, around, if you can see there. Hopefully you can see. So you don't want it back here, you want it up towards the front. I'm going to call that, or the top end of your wire there, the loop. Take your pliers out, and then we're going to pop our smaller side in and have the one that we're working on over here, and we're going to turn that. Now you're not going to get all the way around because your pliers are going to be in the way, so you just take it out. Make sure you put the right one in. Pop it in, finish the loop off like that. Oop, now I take it out. Should have had that in properly to start with. So you want it in at an angle that you can get all the way around. And I'm going to bring that wire, this wire here, around that and sort of out to the side like that, coming out like that. So it should look like that. Just close that up a little bit. Then I'm going to working on the same size, the same mandrel here. It's a little bit difficult under the camera, getting this wire in the right position. And I'm going to grab hold of it, the wire like that. I'm going to bring the wire around and up, coming over this way to the opposite side. So we get this sort of teardrop shape there. Then I'm going to pop my pliers back in here and just pull that wire straight. And why I did that was this one, he's got a bit of a curve on it. I wanted a bit of curve on that side there as well. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my tape measure, and I'm going to measure out, I've got to remember what I did on the other one now. I think it was 4 centimetres. So 4 centimetres, which is, just say 1.5 inches, which should be close enough. Okay, I'm going to cut that wire. So we've got that. I'm putting my wire out of the way. And when we come back, what I'm going to do now is set up to torch the end of this wire. So I'll actually show you my torching on this one. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, I've got my flame going here on my butane torch, and I've got my component in my cross lock tweezers. So I'm going to pop that on top in the flame, and I'm trying to find the sweet spot here, which I found, and see it's starting to ball up. And when it gets to there, I give it a little bounce, turn my torch off, pop it in the quenching bowl. That's totally cool to touch now. Excuse me. And there we have our little ball on the end of that. So it's quite easy to do, as you saw. Yeah, so I hope that is beneficial to you. All right, we'll just come back to the rest of the video now. Okay, so I'm back with you. So we've just balled at the end of this wire here, and I'm just going to use my rubber hammer just to lock the shape in. Whoops, my little bowl of water there, it's banging against my fire blocks. So we're just going to lock that shape in. And that's just so it doesn't collapse when we're wrapping it. All right, put those out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to grab my other pair of 6-step pliers, and I'm using the smallest mandrel on this one. And I'm just going to, which way do I want to go? I want to come from the back or the front? I think I'll come from the front. I'm just going to move that over to the side a little bit like that. And then coming in between your two top loops there like that. Actually, do you want that? I've got to think how I'm going to do this now. I did it before, so I've just got to... There we go. That's how I want it, like that. Ah, dear. Sometimes the brain and hands don't want to coordinate. So I'm holding it like that. So I've got this plier inside that loop, and I've got the smallest one there, and it's actually like right in the middle here. So we're just going to bend this wire over the smallest mandrel, bring it around, and then take our mandrel out. I'm going to grab another pair of pliers here. Where did I put them? There they are. And I'm going to hold that top bit there. I want to make that loop a little bit smaller. Do I? Just a little bit. I need to hold on to it. All right, this will make it smaller. You've got to hold this really tight too, because it'll move around. Did you hear that grip I got on it then? Okay, so we're just going to tuck this wire down through there, and you should be able to do this easy if you've done the balls on the end of it, because the whole of the wire is a lot softer now. Now I just want to tell you too, you could also do this if you don't use a torch, or you don't have a torch, or you're scared to use a torch. You could always paddle the ends of this wire. It just means your wire wouldn't be annealed, so it wouldn't be as soft as this one is. So it'd be just a little bit, I don't want to say hard, but a little, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Challenging, a little bit more challenging to wrap it. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so I'm just bringing that around. Now I look like I'm struggling, but well, I am a little bit because I'm under the camera. But this is easy to do when you're not under a camera, so don't pay too much attention to me looking like I'm having a difficult time making the link, because it's not a difficult link to make by any means. It's just me trying to do it under a camera. Okay, and I'm just going to pull all those in a little bit tighter and straighten that one up a little bit. There we go. And I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? I think it looks good. So now I'm just going to grab my bench block and metal hammer this time. And we're going to hammer the little loop at the top. So he's a little bit difficult to get to because it's only little sticking out and you hammer head. So just do that gently. Only needs doing a little bit like that. And then we're going to hammer the outside edges of these loops. And so to do that, make sure you get over to the edge, like you're over the edge, holding it on your block like that. Oops, and don't slip like I just did. And then just hammering the outer edge. And then the loop at the bottom, I'm just doing the bottom edge. You can do more hammering if you like, but this is what I'm doing. And then the other one. Okay, I think that's enough. Let me look at him. Okay, my little wire popped out there a little bit. I didn't close that down quite tight enough on there, so I'm going to grab, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my bench block and my rubber hammer. I'm going to get it from the back first. Give that a hammer. Make sure I've got my little edge in there that was sticking out. Oops, come here. And then do it from the front as well. I'm just getting that all back into shape now. Yeah, I got my little thing in there, so he's nice and tight now. Okay, so that's our little link. I think it's lovely. I love this link. I think it's just so sweet. Okay, when we come back, I've got a couple of other links to show you and a couple of ideas for using this link. So when we come back, we'll get on with it. Okay, before we move on to having a look at the chain and a couple of other things to do with the link today, I just remembered that I promised a couple of people on my channel and in my Facebook group that I would show them how to make the triangle link that was in last week's tutorial. If you haven't seen last week's tutorial, I'll leave a link down the bottom so you can have a look. So this is what I used here. This is a Beadsmith, it's called a twist and curl coiling tool, I think is what it's called. Anyway, it comes with 6 different mandrels. This is the one I use most often for making just chain links. Sometimes I use this for oval links. You've got a square one, a larger round one, and the one that makes the triangles. So we'll just do that real quick. Make a triangle link. I'll put this over here. Okay, so you just twist it in. You've got like the 2 sides there. You twist it in the hollow side. And grab whatever gauge wire you're using. I'm just going to use some 18 gauge here. I'll leave it on the spool so you can just keep making coils for as long as what you need. You don't have to. I'm so in the habit of flush cutting my wire. You don't need to do that with this. So there's a hole up the middle here on the handle. If I get it in underneath this camera. So you just go up through that hole. There's the hole there at the top. Up through the hole. And down through the other side. And you can just bend that wire out of your way. If you want in there like that. And then all we're going to do is just twist our wire around. Now, with doing the triangles, you want to keep the wire as tight as you can to the mandrel. So I'm pushing around with my index finger here on the back of that. Try and, you're not going to get sharp corners, like dead sharp corners, but you want them to be as sharp as possible. So I'm just going to do a couple. There we go, that'll do. Just grab my cutters, and I'm going to cut that off there. Now you can cut it off up the top here, but you'll waste a little bit more of your wire, because I use these pieces of wire for other things. So I'm just going to pull that down now, like that. Pull it out. And you probably won't, I was just going to say, you probably won't get these ones to slide off. If you've done them really tight, which was my last lot, you won't get those to slide off. You'll have to cut them on the mandrel, which is not hard to do. Okay, so then with triangles, I would never cut them on one of the corners. I would cut them in the middle. So just cut them like that. I don't suppose it'd matter. I suppose you could cut them on the corners. I can't. Oh, I don't know. I always cut them like this, so I don't know whether it matters or not. I should have thought about that before I said don't cut them there, but yeah, so that's it. And then you just, you know, put them together and put them on your bench block, and with a rubber hammer, give them a hammer, or if you want them to be flatter, then use your metal hammer. So that's how easy they are. And the Beadsmith twist and coil, twist and curl coiling gizmo, coiling tool is not expensive. I think it's around no more than $16. I think it's somewhere between $12 and $16, depending on where you buy it from. So it's not an expensive tool, but you can do a lot with it. You can comes with a little booklet, which I have lost years ago. Make all different kinds of coiling links or components or whatever for your jewelry pieces. So I think it's well worthwhile getting. Anyway, okay, so that's enough of that. That's the coiling thing. As I said, I promised I'd do that. So we're going to move on now. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of links first. This is another variation on the link there. That's just wire. I think I used 26 gauge wire to wrap that. And I've just made like a cross thing, a double cross thing on the bottom. So if you wanted something sort of really neat and tidy looking, you could do something like that with this link. What's the other one? This one here doesn't have the loop at the top. So how you would attach it would be two jump rings, one on each side, and then attach it to something else. So if you were having problems doing that little loopy thing that I showed you, you could always do it that way. This is the way I did it first before I thought about putting the loop at the top. So this was like a prototype thing. And then there's one other little one, and this is a tiny little one. If you just wanted to put a little jump ring, a little link in here or there. This is a tiny one. I think I did it on, if I remember rightly, yeah, on this mandrel here. And then just got some 26 gauge wire and just wound it round until I like the look of it. And then just anything that looked too straight, I just twisted with my pliers to get that look. You could do that in a bigger link if you wanted to. It could also be like a connector for something. You could have, say you were making a necklace, you could have your chain, just a fine, with this size anyway, just a fine one. Chain coming this side and then hang your pendant off the bottom. So that's another thing you could do with that. You could also do something like that with one of these. Now the chain. Oops, sorry, just banged my camera. This is what I've put together in a chain. I honestly need more room. Okay, so what have we got here? I want to get everything nice and straight. There we go. Just making sure everything's facing up the right way. Yeah. Okay, so this is the chain I've put together. So here I've put two of the single, I'm just going to call them single ones, and one of the fancier ones in the middle. Over here, I did something a little bit different. One of the single ones, I need the end with a infinity link in between, and then 2 joined together going that way. A single one there, and then this one here is one going either way, facing opposite ways, with one in the middle. And then I've just done a couple of little other links here. I haven't shown you this link yet. We'll get to that one. And yeah, this is the part that goes up around the back of your neck, so it's comfortable to wear. And yeah, that's what the chain looks like. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. What was I going to say? Facebook link I'll leave down the bottom for our private group. Just one thing I want to say about the Facebook group. There are questions that you need to answer, and why they are there is to keep scammers out, you know, undesirables, you know, trolls and bots and all that sort of stuff, to keep those out. So you need to answer those questions and make sure you click the accept box down the bottom, because if I see that you haven't done that, then I can't accept you into the group. It's just not fair to all the other members, and you know, the ones that do follow the rules and participate, you know, nicely. It's a lovely group of people that we've got there, and yeah, everybody's just putting up some beautiful work. So if you'd like to get some inspiration, I post work there as well. So if you want to get some inspiration from me, I put things up there that I don't do in tutorials. Yeah, so there's a Facebook link down the bottom there for that. And what else was there? Oh, I've got one more video coming out this week, and it's basically a big request from a lot of my members on my Facebook group to do with oxidizing, clean, polishing, using the tumbler, what kind of tumbler. They've asked me a whole heap of questions about all different topics. So that I'll be doing that extra video this week for everybody. Okay, well, that's it for me. I think that's all I had to say. I didn't show you the earring, did I? Hold on, don't go anywhere. Let me show you the earring. I just thought I looked over and I saw it there, and I thought I didn't show that. Okay, sorry. So this is a little earring that I designed. It's all it is this here, and I've just made one side into a leaf, and I dropped a little bead there in the bottom with a bit of wire work around it. And to me, what it looked like was a berry, a leaf, and a raindrop or a dewdrop falling off the bottom of that. That's what I thought of anyway. You could, you know, do a lot with this. You could add a bead to the top and then add your ear wire up there. You could just dangle a bead down the bottom if you wanted to. You could dangle, you know, a briolette in the middle of that. Lots of things. You know, this is just one little quick idea I came up with, but I just wanted to show you how cute that looks in an earring. All right, guys, that's it from me. So I will catch you all again when I put out the next video coming out in a couple of days. So take it easy, take care of yourself, and go out there and make something beautiful. Bye.